So Taylor Swift isn't my usual content. I typically focus on songs from beyond, movies from beyond, and my broader work on alchemy and metaphysics. But the other thing I love to explore is the villains, the inner villains to be exact. All of us being and having inner villains. And the arcs that once you see them, you genuinely can't unsee them. They're everywhere. They're in stories, they're in books, they're in our lives, they're in our houses, our countries, our cities. I recently released a video called The Intentional Villainy of Taylor Swift, where I walked through her major arcs throughout her career and why they have landed so powerfully, and how the life of a showgirl has revealed a new archetypal trajectory that we haven't seen before. It is in the Hungry Shapeshifter arc. And honestly, it's the one that says the quiet parts out loud, and maybe isn't resonating well because of that. And the Hungry Shapeshifter arc is the one that says the quiet parts out loud, that says, I want attention more than anything. After watching so many brilliant takes on the album, some that call out legitimately the microaggressions, the problematic onyx opalite analogy, the interpolation that's happening with almost every song, I wanted to go deeper into this archetype and its subtypes to clarify what is unfolding and to make a prediction about the success of this era. Also, I love to do predictions, by the way. You can check out, I've done a whole prediction about Stranger Things season 5 based on the arcs of every single character and who's going to die and who's not. So go check it out on YouTube. So the Hungry Shapeshifter. The Hungry Shapeshifter is best embodied by Loki from Loki seasons 1 and 2, who goes through his full arc in that process, and Evelyn from Everything Everywhere All at Once, who also moves all the way through her full arc. Its defining traits are a relentless desire for attention, often by any means necessary, even if it's negative attention, a hidden potential for mastery over time and transformation if the arc is completed or made into a legend. Third, a confusion or resistance to a single identity, preferring constant reinvention. So we're seeing that there is some aspect of this which is peak Taylor Swift, maybe her authentic self. The subtypes of the Hungry Shapeshifter are as follows. The successful antagonist, which is the thief. This aspect obviously has surfaced many times through the appropriation and mimicry from other sources that she then is going to call her own. Many critics have already noted the number of sonic borrowings on this album, and that fits the thief's pattern exactly. Absorbing other people's energy to refine one's own myth and one's own expression. The wounded child. This is the defensive. You can hear this in the diss tracks. There is a very raw, reactive stance that guards against perceived rejection while also still craving the spotlight. She has also been really quick to point out that any attention is good attention. Even if this album is getting bad attention, she's like, hey, it's fine. It's still good attention, because ultimately all I care about is attention, and that is a defensive stance. The covert form of this, which is pretty hidden, you maybe can't tell. It's like the person who shows up at the party and everybody loves them and they entertain everybody. The covert is the entertainer. In this case, it is the showgirl. And then we have the inversion. What's really important to recognize about the inner villain system is not to point out people's bad parts, to recognize how they can invert and change and learn from those arcs in order to become their most legendary or heroic selves, right? It's using narrative as a way to navigate through shadow work. Every villain has its inversion, its mirror, and its opportunity to shift. If for the Hungry Shapeshifter, the hero is the presence, which is honestly absent from this album, and the legend is the fabricator. You know, it's interesting because the fabricator takes together all these different identities and puts it into one. We actually saw glimpses of this legend during the Eras tour, which was a pinnacle expression of the fabricator legend. She rewove all her identities into one massive act of self-creation, celebrating her evolution. Unfortunately, the life of a showgirl pulls her back into villain territory of this particular arc. And while Taylor has mastered her resources so completely that we will likely never hear a mainstream critical backlash about this album, even my original Taylor Swift video was flagged for gore and violence and took a long time to take off, because ultimately she can probably afford to control some things if she wants to. That's allegedly. And also what we recognize is attention remains visible. When attention itself becomes the product, when that becomes the aim, the audience becomes the offering, because everything is about our attention. So my prediction is that the life of a showgirl will continue to be commercially successful. It's cohesive, it's within a single arc, which always resonates at scale. That's how all of her arcs in the past have been successful, especially if it's accompanied by auxiliary material, like the rumored book under the pseudonym Willow Bowery, which is the death of a showgirl. That's very alleged. Or the not at all alleged major life event like her wedding, showing that this is a part of some bigger piece of entertainment, and it's all wrapped up for us in terms of what is the showgirl and what is the entertainer, and how far is she willing to do to make a multimedia package for all of our attention to be put onto her. It's a very thematically risky arc, The Hungry Shapeshifter, because by naming her hunger for attention so openly, Taylor is revealing the essence of the hungry shapeshifter, that she doesn't want money, resources, or power anymore because she has those things. She wants your attention. And if people are willing to give it, this era will thrive. And if not, it could mark the moment when the spectacle finally consumes the source. And yes, I recognize by talking about it, I'm feeding it too, so be it. But if there's anything that I can ever teach anybody about the villains, I will do it. So this is what I would like to call glimpses from the dark side, the shadow. I don't know. I'm Christina Wiltsey. Follow and share if you want to help our channel grow. Thanks, y'all.